Hey guys, so you're thinking about moving to Cartersville, Georgia? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna show you around Cartersville, Georgia and give you my top pros and cons of living in the city of Cartersville, Georgia. Come on the tour with me, let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the actual walking tour here in Cartersville, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Raymond, and I am a real estate broker and realtor here in the Atlanta metropolitan area, and I work with buyers and sellers that are looking to purchase and sell real estate right here in the Atlanta metro. So if that is you, feel free to reach out to me. All of my information will be in the description below. So without further ado, let's go on a beautiful walking tour of Cartersville, Georgia, and then I will be right back giving you some stats and my top pros and cons of living right here in Cartersville. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you enjoyed that tour of downtown Cartersville. It is truly a nice little downtown area for all of the residents here in Cartersville. It reminds me of a smaller condensed Marietta with the railroad tracks right in the center of the city. And as you saw in the opening clip, the railroads actually do run here every single day. So keeping that vibrance here of Cartersville alive. So where I'm standing right now is Friendship Plaza, which is a meeting place for some of the residents here in Cartersville to come together and meet. Friendship Plaza. As you can see behind me is a memorial for all of those who protected our country in 2001 and all of those who served thereafter. So a lot of charm through Cartersville and the appreciation of this country as well as the city. You can see it throughout the downtown area here in Cartersville. Okay, so without all of the rambling, let's keep moving forward and let's talk about the stats of Cartersville, Georgia. So I will be glancing down at my note cards just to let you guys know. I want to make sure I give you the information right so that you can continue to do your research on Cartersville. As I will always say in all of my videos, use this video as a opening starting point in your research. At no point am I suggesting or denying a certain area. It is really just to get you started in your research about a certain area here in the Atlanta metro. So let's go ahead and get started with it. All right, so first things first, the area here in Cartersville, where is it located? So Cartersville is located 43 miles to the north of downtown Atlanta. It is a suburban city. It is a suburb of Atlanta in that metro area statistical map that I always refer to when I'm talking about Atlanta metro. So it is on the outermost band of that here in the northern section of the metro area. So commute time into Atlanta from Cartersville, let's talk about that. So you're looking at roughly about an hour commute without traffic, about 50 minutes to be exact without traffic. So if you're having to commute to Atlanta, you want to consider that for certain as you are thinking about your move to Cartersville. Cartersville is located in a county by the name of Bartow, B-A-R-T-O-W. So that is the county for Cartersville. So all of the county government will be overseen by Bartow County. All right, so population here in Cartersville, Georgia is roughly about 23,879 residents, rounded up to 24,000 residents right here in the city center or the city limits of Cartersville. All right, just remember, sometimes the city limits are smaller than the surrounding unincorporated area of that city. So there are well over 24,000 people in the general area of Cartersville, but just the city population is topping out at about 24,000. The median age here in Cartersville is 36 years old. The household income here in Cartersville is roughly about $75,000 per year. The ownership versus rent ratio is as follows: 52.7% ownership rate and 47.3% rental rate. So as you can see, the majority of the residents here in Cartersville are actually homeowners of their home. So if you're looking for an area that has that large concentration of home ownership, Cartersville should be on your list as far as the majority. The median home listing price here in Cartersville, Georgia is roughly $335,000, which is very, very aggressive. We're going to talk about in that pros and cons section as we continue. So if you're liking the video so far, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to find out more information about living in Cartersville. Let's keep moving. The public school system here in Cartersville, Georgia is managed and operated by Bartow County Public School District. So students here in Cartersville will attend Bartow County Public Schools. The hospital access is as follows. There are two hospitals here central to the city of Cartersville. The first one being Piedmont Cartersville Medical Center, and the second one being Wellstar Cartersville. So ample access to healthcare here living in Cartersville, Georgia, right at your fingertips. So if that's important to you, it checks Cartersville definitely checks that box. The nearest interstate access for Cartersville is Interstate 75. Right here at the city center, it's literally right off the highway, about 3 miles. Take you about 5 minutes to get to the highway. So super close proximity right to Interstate 75. And finally, the access to the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport is as follows. Roughly about 52.5 miles from the airport, which puts you out at about an hour's drive with no traffic. All right, so about an hour away from the airport with no traffic. So if you are a frequent flyer, definitely consider those odds. And again, that is without traffic. So let's go ahead and start our discussion on the pros and cons of living here in Cartersville. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons of living here in Cartersville. Let's go ahead and begin with the pros, and we will wrap it up with the cons. So the first pro of living here in Cartersville, Georgia is gonna be the scenery change. So you will know this when you come up here. It looks completely different from, say, suburbs that are closer into the center of the metropolitan area, closer towards Atlanta. One of the biggest changes you'll notice is the mountainous scenery. As you get up into Cartersville and beyond, you're going to see a lot more of those mountains that North Georgia has to offer. So it gives you that change in scenery. So to me, that is a beautiful pro that makes Cartersville a little bit more unique than some of the other suburbs we've talked about on the channel. So that's pro number one. Moving on to pro number two. All right, so pro number two is going to be an offshoot of pro number one, which is going to be quick access to mountains and mountain state parks. All right, so there's two parks I want to mention to you on this video. There are several other parks here in Cartersville, but these are the two that I find to be the most interesting, and that's going to give you that wider range. So the first one is going to be Pine Mountain. Pine Mountain is a huge park. The height of Pine Mountain is 1,562 feet tall. There are several different walking trails, steep, rocky terrain that can really give you a challenge if that's something that you like to do. And then the other park is going to be Red Top Mountain State Park. And this is more of that touristic park activities, family activities to do. Let me give you some of the things that they have in Red Top Mountain. There are several walking trails, hiking trails. There are over 93 tent, trailer, and RV campsites. There are 20 cottages that you can rent there if you like to do the cottage rentals. It also has access to a sand beach, a marina, 2 boat docks, 2 boat ramps, and access to the 12,000 acre Lake Allatoona. So super duper amenities there in Red Top State Park, Red Top Mountain State Park. So that access to that is really, really nice. Cartersville puts you right there. It's right at your fingertips here, living here in Cartersville. Now let's move on to pro number three. All right, so pro number three is going to be overall affordable real estate value proposition. Living here in Cartersville, Georgia, you will notice that the median listing price, as I said in the opening, is $335, which is significantly lower than the Atlanta metropolitan average. So you can really get a little bit more bang for your buck living out here in Cartersville. But you know, the trade-off for that is just being a little bit further from the city. But if you don't mind being further from Atlanta, then definitely real estate value proposition is going to be top notch out here. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our fourth and final pro. Our fourth pro is going to be the wholesome feel here in Cartersville. As you saw walking around here, the downtown area, it's really, really nice and wholesome. I've been to Cartersville multiple times. I've done business in Cartersville, and every time I've been in the area, in some of the independent restaurants, it's been a really nice experience for me. The cigar shop right across the road is really nice if you're into cigars. So wholesome, you know. I mean, that's the pro that I want to add here, is that you do have that wholesome family vibe here and community vibe here in Cartersville. Okay, so now where there is good, there is bad. So I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that. So let's talk about the cons of living here in Cartersville. So the first con of living here in Cartersville is going to be none other than the public school district. Bartow County Public School District has some work to do. All right, simply put, they are underperforming the state metrics. Right now, the state metrics is at about a C, you know. So that puts Bartow County under a C. So right now, it is in need of improvement. But there are some good traits about Bartow County public school systems, like the graduation rate. Graduation rate is about 90%. So students are matriculating through the system So long or the short of it, Bartow County does need some work in their public school systems, but from what I hear and from what I've read, the public school system is improving and they are working towards accomplishing their goal. But I'm a firm believer as a parent myself, I believe that your child's education is not left up to the public school district. If you're the type of parent that supplements your children with tutorial programs, extracurricular activities that allow them to accelerate their growth, accelerate their knowledge, then you still can maybe work with Bartow County. What I would suggest you do is look at Bartow County's public school district performance metrics. I added a link down below. You can go and take a look at those performance metrics right up front and see if it works for your child. Just because the public school district is underperforming the state does not automatically mean that that public school district is not going to be good for your student. And I'm also a firm believer that your child can go to the best public school district and be the worst student. So it's up to you though, right? What's important to you as a parent, as a family? What are your objectives? As I said in the opening, this video is to give you suggestions and statistics straight up front. What you do with that is up to you, and how you interpret it is up to you. All in all, as you can see, I believe Cartersville, Georgia has a lot of positive attributes of living here in Cartersville. So if you are looking for a suburb or an option beyond Atlanta, and you like the mountain scenery, or you have mountain scenery where you are now and you're looking for an area that could potentially have that same effect here in Georgia, Cartersville, Georgia should be on your list. All right, so that's a wrap on the video. If you are thinking about moving to Cartersville, Georgia, buying or selling, all of my contact information is now on the screen as well as in the description below. Feel free to reach out to me. I would love to be a resource to you and help you make that move here to Cartersville, Georgia. Also, if you are a resident of Cartersville, I would love to see your comments in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Tell people what your pros and your cons are of living here as a resident of Cartersville. It definitely could help someone else make that decision on moving here to Cartersville, Georgia. So thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you got any value out of this video. Also, check the channel. Over 10 other suburbs, tours, pros and cons, statistics just like this. If you're thinking about moving to Atlanta metropolitan area, allow me to be your resource to get your knowledge started about this area and about this beautiful metropolitan area we call Atlanta Metro. And welcome to the beautiful state of Georgia if that is your goal. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Remember, I am a realtor and I work with buyers and sellers. So if you need a real estate broker or a realtor, give me a call. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.